What's happening, everybody? I appreciate you checking in. All right, let's break down this Bucks matchup. It's going to be in Tampa, and this Bucks team is going to be hungry. They're coming off of an overtime win against the Carolina Panthers, which that game should have never been close, but it is a divisional game. But they're 6-6. They're right behind the Atlanta Falcons. I think it's a battle for that division. So this Bucks team is going to be hungry. So if we want to have any chance, we better come prepared. We better not slip because they will take advantage. But at the end of the day, we're 2-10, right? And so when I break this game down, it's all going to be about either the players or the position units that I'm going to be focused on, that I'm going to be paying attention to, because I want to know who are we going to continue with in the future, who's battling for a potential starting position on this roster or even a roster spot going into next season. So I'm going to look at both the offense and defense. But I'm definitely going to talk about Aiden O'Connell as well, because he's coming off of a really good game against the Chiefs. We're going to talk about what I'm looking for with Aiden O'Connell in this game and for the rest of the season. So we'll definitely jump into it. But before I do, I did announce the winners of my giveaway. I did not hear back from the original winner, so I had to pick new ones. I told you guys that I would give you at least a week to kind of get back to me, email me, but I didn't hear back, so I got to pick new winners. And the new winners are DK_Raiders 117 and Ed Dog 805. Now, these guys, they're always randomly selected. So even though I'm 805 Raider, my channel is Real Talk Raider Nation. It's randomly selected. So Ed Dog 805, if you're from the 805, that's actually pretty cool. Good big shout out. But make sure you guys email me at realraider805@gmail.com, and I'll email you back with the instructions on how to redeem that giveaway. So again, DK_Raiders 117 and Ed Dog 805. Email me as soon as you get this so I can give you the instructions. So again, I appreciate it. Again, I had to wait at least a week for the other winners to get back to me. I didn't hear back, so I had to move forward and pick other ones. All right. So, but I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody. If you guys are watching this and kind of missed out, hit the subscribe button, notification bell. My next giveaway is at 4,500 subscribers. So once I hit it, I'll do my next giveaway. But congratulations to the winners. Hit me back, email me so I can get you those instructions. All right, so let's talk about this matchup real quick. Let's talk about the defense first. One, I'm really focused on the pass rush, okay? The secondary, we're extremely banged up. You had Marcus Epps goes down early in the season. You got Jacorian Bennett now basically on the IR, and so we're not going to see him, unfortunately, because I really wanted to see how he could grow based on what he did earlier in the season. But now's the opportunity for the young DC Richardson, our fourth-round corner, to kind of step up and see what he has and really start to get his feet wet in the NFL. And so what I'm really looking forward to is this pass rush, right? Last week, we got to Patrick Mahomes 5 times. We sacked him 5 times, and we hit him 12 times. So we got some players on this defensive line that I'm very excited about. One, Adam Butler. I think he's been an absolute beast all season long. When Christian Wilkins went down, we definitely needed someone to kind of fill that role, and I think he's done it extremely well. If we can re-sign him in the offseason and have him and Christian Wilkins side by side, I think that is a terror in the interior of our defense. And so I'm definitely going to continue to watch Adam Butler as he progresses the rest of the season. I would already make the decision to extend him and try to bring him back for next season. So Adam Butler, I'm definitely watching out for. And then K'Lavon Chaisson, one of the guys that is kind of up in the air on whether or not we're going to extend and re-sign is Malcolm Kuntz. He had that season-ending injury before the season ever started. And so there's a question mark. There's a big question mark. Do we re-sign him? Do we try to bring him back even though he now is coming off of that injury? Or is K'Lavon Chaisson kind of starting to make his own statement, trying to make his case for possibly being that defensive end that plays opposite of Max Crosby? And if he continues to produce, again, that would just allow us to have more flexibility in our cap space to bring in either some other high-paid free agents and really bolster this defense, or even take some of that money and allocate to the offense. Defense definitely needs more firepower and more weapons than the defense. And so, again, Malcolm Kuntz is probably going to have a decent price tag, even though he's coming off that injury. And so do you not allocate all that money to one player opposite Max Crosby, even though Max Crosby, he's also getting a high paid contract? So do you need 2 high paid defensive ends on this roster when you already have a high paid interior defensive tackle on Christian Wilkins? And so that's my question, is can K'Lavon Chaisson kind of make that statement of him solidifying himself as that pass rusher opposite of Max Crosby, and we can get him at a discount and allocate that money in other places of need? And so again, I'm just throwing it out there. And so this is why I'm just watching Caleb Von Chasen just to kind of see how he develops and how he continues to improve as the season goes on. Now, even though I just talked about the defensive backs, the one thing, this is going to be a big test for Jack Jones. He's going to be matched up with Mike Evans. I don't think you're going to take DC Richardson and put him on Mike Evans. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, I do know that Patrick Graham, he likes to keep his corners where they are. So Jack Jones might just play one side, and Mike Evans, as he flip-flops, he might get matched up against DC Richardson at times. But if you do that, it's tough because you're kind of throwing a rookie up against one of the best veteran receivers in the league. And to me, that would be just kind of a tough go for DC Richardson. So I do think it's going to be on Jack Jones' shoulders to kind of follow Mike Evans around and lock him down as much as possible. I believe he had 8 receptions for over 100 yards and a touchdown. And so they're going to continue to feed him because of just the injuries that the Buccaneers are facing within that receiver room. And so Mike Evans is going to be a prime target. So we got to follow him, lock him down. It's going to be a big test for Jack Jones. And at the end, when it comes to the defense, and I said this last week, I think if we have a chance at winning this football game, we got to keep the Bucs to 17 points or under. That's going to be the focus for this defense. Make sure that you start strong. Don't allow that first offensive drive that the Bucs have to go down and score points, right? So we'll hold them off as much as possible to allow our offense the time, even though if we stall out a couple first drives, that we still feel comfortable and can still remain in this game. If we allow the Bucs just to come out hot and they score 7 on that first drive, like we have let offenses do in the beginning of the season, then it's going to be tough. This offense isn't built to come from behind. And so that's what I want to see. I want to see our defense hold them to 17 points or under, but I also want them to see, I want to see them start fast. I want to see them start strong and don't allow the Bucs to kind of get that momentum early in the game. And so that's kind of the defensive side. Let me know what you're looking at on the defensive side of the ball as well. Now let's flip to the offensive side of the ball. Now, last week with Aiden O'Connell, it was his first really true start. I know he started early in the season. That's when he broke his thumb, but this is going to be his second game, going into this season. And so last week they start out slow. We start out slow. We only scored 3 points in the first half, I believe, against the Chiefs, which is understandable. It's his first game, Aiden O'Connell's first game back. And so he's got to get his feet wet. But we started to pick it up in the second half, all right? And Aiden O'Connell's coming off a very good game. I don't care who you are, but I don't think anybody expected him to throw for 340 yards and 2 touchdowns. And so the biggest thing for Aiden O'Connell is he now has to string some good games together, all right? That's what he failed to do last season. He'd have a decent game or a really good game, and then he would kind of fall off, right? We all remember the Minnesota game where we couldn't even score a single point. The offense couldn't move at all. So I think we all remember that Minnesota game, and then we had the Chiefs game. Even though we won, Aiden O'Connell, I don't believe he completed a pass the last 3 quarters of that game. And so he's got to start stringing some good games together. And that's going to, and this is his tryout, right? At the end of the day, this is his tryout. He is trying to prove to this organization that he can be the starting quarterback. And I don't care if you're an Aiden O'Connell fan or not. If you're wearing the silver black, I do hope the best for you. I want to see you succeed. I want to see the best out of you, because at the end of the day, we're investing this time right now into any player in that locker room. And so I want to see Aiden O'Connell succeed. I want to see him do well. And with that being said, we all can still debate on whether or not he is the guy, but at the end of the day, I think we all should always root for our players to do well if you're wearing the silver and black. And so the numbers for Aiden O'Connell last game looked really good. He was 23 of 35, I believe, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's the biggest thing. Right? He didn't turn over the football, which is key. Now, there were some very risky throws. I think he was trying to force the ball a little too much to Jacoby Myers. You saw that on film, and you saw that last year too. There was a lot of times, and even in just his past preseason, where there are those throws that are very suspect. And so he needs to start to clean those up, because as much as he didn't throw any interceptions, there was at least 2 throws that that should have been picked. One by Bolton, the linebacker, up the middle, but then there was also one to the far sideline that the corner was just sitting. He tried to force it to Jacoby Myers. That corner should have picked that one off. And so there's definitely things that he needs to clean up. And that's what I want to see Aiden O'Connell to continue to play turnover-free football. And at the end of the day, let's start stringing some good games together. Now, this Bucs secondary is very suspect. They let Bryce Young throw for almost 300 yards and a touchdown last week. And it was probably one of Bryce Young's better games. And so Aiden O'Connell doesn't have an opportunity this week to really tear apart this Bucs secondary. And so if he wants to make a statement, if he wants to continue to prove this organization that he can be the guy, this is an opportunity where you can take advantage of a very suspect Bucs secondary. And so I definitely want to see Aiden O'Connell. I want to see what he can do. I want to see if he can produce in a game that he should. And so that's definitely what I'm looking out for. So here's one question that I have for you guys. What, even if you don't like Aiden O'Connell and you think we should draft a quarterback in next year's draft, what would convince you that Aiden O'Connell is the guy? You got to remember, he is still young. He still can be developed. What happens if Aiden O'Connell averages 300 plus yards a game and, two touchdowns, right? If that's what he can average at the end of this season, do you think that would convince you that he is the guy? Again, average 300 plus yards plus two touchdowns a game. If that's his average, I think that can move the needle and start moving people to like what Aiden O'Connell can bring to this football team. And so let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts if Aiden O'Connell does show that he can produce some numbers by the end of the season. Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, next, let's talk about Sincere McCormick. I think Sincere McCormick has earned the right to have more carries. And so this is what I want to see. Sincere McCormick had 12 carries for 64 yards last week against the Chiefs, right? It's probably arguably one of the better rushing games that we've seen, and so I want to see Sincere McCormick get more opportunities. I want to see him get a minimum of 12 carries behind this offensive line that's slowly getting better, but I want to see us feed him the rock because look, I think Alexander Madsen is not the answer. Zamir White is not the answer. I don't even think that they're going to be in our future moving forward into next season. And so I want to see, can Sincere McCormick just be a part of this running back room next year? It's still up for debate whether or not he is the starting running back or we're going to lean on his shoulders going into the next season. I don't think he's there yet at all, but this is his tryout. I think that there is a good chance that he could be part of this running back room, provide competition, maybe be kind of a change of pace back because he has shown that he's got that shiftiness. He's got that speed to be able to kind of be a change of pace back. The one thing that we don't have right now is that short yardage back, that goal line type of back. All right. And so that's what I want to see. Can Sincere McCormick be that change of pace back and be that second or third string back in this running back room going into next season? This is his tryout. I want this offense to be able to give him the opportunity to show us. I want to see a minimum of 12 carries. I'd like to see more like 15 carries against the Bucs. Give him the ball 15 times and let him showcase what he can do and provide him that opportunity. And let's see if he takes advantage. So I definitely want to see more Sincere McCormick and kind of just, again, give him that opportunity to show what he could do. Now, again, I want to see this offensive line continue to get better. I think it's a young offensive line. Obviously, you got Colton Miller that's week by week getting better, coming off that shoulder injury in the offseason. I do think that Dylan Parham is probably our weakest link at this point. Jordan Meredith, I think he's doing extremely well. JPJ is a young rookie that I think is establishing himself as our starting center. So I want him to, kind of have himself a good game, kind of have a momentum swing off of what happened last week, right? That last play of the game where he snapped the ball. Some people put the blame on him, which I don't think it was. But at the end of the day, I just want to see him have a good game, kind of grow off of that and kind of change the narrative for some people and some of the fans. But I think he's a young rookie that is establishing himself as our center of the future. Then you got DJ Glaze on the right side, just progressively getting better, but he's a rookie. There's things that he needs to continue to build on. But again, give him the rest of the season, see him improve, give him an entire offseason, and he might find himself as a starting right tackle. So again, we're going against a good Bucs defensive line that's going to test us. And so I definitely want to see this offensive line kind of open up holes for the running backs, right? But also protect Aiden O'Connell. That's the biggest thing, is Aiden O'Connell's not the most mobile quarterback in the world. So they got to provide him protection. This is going to be another test. So I'm definitely watching this offensive line as a unit to kind of see how we want to move forward. Now, lastly, we need to continue to make a statement for Brock Bowers. We need to feed him the football so that he can solidify himself as the rookie player of the year. I mean, he is right there. Obviously, most of the time it's going to go to a quarterback. You do got Jaden Daniels over with the Washington Commanders, right? He's playing extremely well, but there's no reason. There's absolutely no reason why Brock Bowers should not be in that conversation. And we need to continue to feed him the ball, not only to just break records, right? But also make that statement. You only have one chance in your life to be the rookie player of the year in the NFL, right? You have one opportunity. So let's continue to feed him. I want to see him get double-digit targets, 6 to 8 catches. And let's try to get him over 100 yards and a touchdown or two, right? Let's just continue to feed him the ball. So that's definitely what I want to see. I want to see this offense continue to utilize our number one weapon, which is Brock Bowers. So that's kind of my breakdown, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below what you're looking for on the offensive side. But once again, guys, I got to hear back from my winner. So DK_Raiders117 and EdDog805, email me at realraider805@gmail.com so I can get you the instructions on how to redeem your giveaway. Again, I will give you guys some time, but make sure you email me so I can give you those instructions. I want to give out this giveaway. It's my way of saying thank you and show my appreciation to all you guys. So again, guys, I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, turn on those notifications, enjoy the game, and then I'll hit you guys Sunday after the game with the live with my instant reaction to the game. So again, enjoy it. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.